The moment she walked down my aisle in a white dress, smiling like it was her wedding, I knew what had to be done. My sister wanted to be the center of attention? Fine. I let her take the spotlight, just long enough to ruin her reputation in front of everyone she cared about. If you've ever had someone try to hijack your big moment or treat your life like it's a stage for their drama, this story will hit deep. Hit that like button, subscribe, and prepare for one of the most deliciously satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. Weddings are supposed to be beautiful, joyful, a celebration of love. Mine was supposed to be the start of something magical. But instead, it became a battlefield. Let me start at the beginning. My sister Claire has always had a flair for the dramatic. Growing up, if I got a compliment, she'd find a way to one-up it. I got into college. She pretended she had job offers from 3 companies. I got engaged. She suddenly started dropping hints about her secret relationship. But I always let it go. Because, family. Then came the wedding planning. I kept things simple. Beach ceremony, close friends, nothing over the top. My fiancé and I were both private people. But Claire, she hated that. Said my wedding sounded bland, forgettable, and, her exact words, like it needs a little sparkle. I brushed it off. But then came the ask, or rather, the demand. She wanted to walk down the aisle, alone, before me. Like a second maid of honor, she said. To set the vibe. I blinked. Claire, that's not how weddings work. She pouted. You're being selfish. Everyone knows I'm your only sister. People expect to see me walk down the aisle too. It wasn't a suggestion. It was an ultimatum wrapped in glitter and fake tears. My stomach turned. I told her no, calmly, but she didn't listen. She kept pushing, texting, calling, guilt-tripping. My mom, of course, sided with her. Let her have her moment, she said. You'll still be the bride. That's when I realized this wasn't about me. This was about Claire's ego. So I made a decision, not to fight her, but to let her bury herself. I looped in my fiancé, who had also had his share of Claire-induced headaches. We came up with a plan so delicate, so delicious, it still makes me smile. First, I told Claire she could have her aisle moment. You're right, I said. I want you to feel special too. She lit up like she just won an Oscar. Just don't upstage me, I added sweetly. Nothing too flashy. She promised. Of course, she lied. On the day of the wedding, she showed up in a floor-length white sequined gown. Tight, sparkling, and she'd styled her hair exactly like mine. I watched her from behind the curtain, my heart pounding, not with nerves, but with anticipation. Let her play the lead role in the drama. The show was about to begin. As the music started, Claire strutted down the aisle before the bridal party, alone, smiling smugly at the shocked guests. Some even clapped, confused. That's when the second part of our plan kicked in. You see, we had hired a second videographer for the wedding, but not to film us. Their sole job was to follow Claire. Every exaggerated pose, every shameless glance at the crowd, every moment she tried to steal the show. It was all captured, from multiple angles. Then came the real moment. I walked out, wearing a custom-made ethereal gown that made hers look like a nightclub costume. As I took my first steps, the gasps turned into whispers. One guest even muttered, "Wait, why was Claire in white?" But it didn't end there. At the reception, my husband got on the mic. "We want to thank everyone for being here, and we have a little something to show you all before dinner." The lights dimmed, the projector flickered on, and there she was, Claire, preening, twirling, cutting off the real bridal party, trying to wave to the crowd like she was in a pageant. By the end of the video, the silence was deafening. Then came the laughter, not kind laughter, the cruel, pitying kind. One of my aunts leaned over and whispered, "She really thought it was her wedding, didn't she?" Claire stormed out in tears. My mom followed, red-faced. But I didn't care. The rest of the night, it was everything I dreamed it would be, without her. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's letting someone hang themselves with the very spotlight they crave. Claire wanted attention, and she got it. just not the kind she expected. If that ending gave you chills, smash that like button and drop a comment. What would you have done if your sister pulled this? And don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we've got a story where a groom fakes being stood up, just to destroy his cheating fiancé. You don't want to miss it. The next morning, my phone exploded. Not with congratulations, not with joy, but with drama. Claire had taken to social media, Instagram stories, Facebook rants, even a cryptic tweet or two, all of it aimed at me. She claimed I ambushed her, that I was jealous of her beauty, that the video we played was a malicious edit meant to humiliate her. She painted herself as the victim, said she was traumatized by the betrayal. But here's the thing about truth. It always finds oxygen. And once it breathes, it spreads like wildfire. Guess who'd been at the wedding? They weren't having it. One by one, they commented on her posts. Claire, you showed up in a white dress. You walked down the aisle before the bride. You tried to steal the show and you got what you asked for. Even people who weren't there started chiming in once the wedding video teaser hit the net. Yep, that's right. The videographer we hired, he had a little fun of his own. He edited a short cinematic trailer of the day, Claire's solo walk, her smug smile, followed by my actual entrance and the gasps from the crowd. It was subtle, artful, but devastating. It went viral on TikTok within hours, not because we asked him to, but because Claire had already stirred up so much noise that people were curious. The caption read, "This is what happens when you try to upstage your sister's wedding." The comments were brutal. She did this to herself. Why is she wearing the same hairstyle? This is the most satisfying wedding karma I've ever seen. She deactivated by midnight. For a few days, everything was quiet. Then the texts started coming. From my mom. "You need to apologize to Claire," she wrote. "She's depressed. You ruined her reputation." I stared at the screen in disbelief. I wanted to scream. But instead, I sent her a link to the video. I didn't ruin anything. She did. That was the last I heard from my mom for a while. A few weeks passed. I settled into married life. Peacefully. Without Claire. Until one day I got a knock at the door. Claire. No makeup. No filters. No cameras. Just a tight-lipped, hollow version of herself. "I just wanted to talk," she said quietly. I let her in. She sat at the edge of the couch like she didn't belong there. And for once, she didn't try to perform. "I didn't think it would blow up like that," she said. "I thought people would find it funny, or maybe even sweet, like a sister moment." I said nothing. She fidgeted. "I've lost followers. My friends barely text me back. Even Alex dumped me." That part didn't surprise me. Her boyfriend had always been more obsessed with aesthetics than actual connection. "So what do you want from me?" I asked. She looked up, eyes red. "I don't know, I think I messed up." For the first time in years, I saw it. Not the show-off, not the manipulator. Just my sister. Broken, small, human. And I told her the truth. "Claire, I loved you. I defended you. I gave you chances, but you made your choices. This didn't happen to you. You made it happen." She nodded slowly. For once, she didn't argue. We didn't hug. We didn't cry. We didn't make up. She stood, thanked me for letting her speak, and walked out the door. I don't know what'll happen next between us. Maybe someday we'll rebuild. Maybe not. But what I do know is this. When people show you who they are, believe them. And if they try to steal your light, don't dim it. Let them stand in it long enough to be seen for who they really are. 6 months passed. We were in a good place. Married, stable, quiet. No drama, no glitter bombs in the form of Claire. I was finally breathing easy. Until the baby shower. Yep, I was pregnant. And for once, the attention I got didn't feel forced or performative. It felt real. My friends organized everything. Soft pink and white theme, gentle music, lots of laughter. It was everything I wanted. Calm, intimate, loving. Until the door opened. And there she was. Claire. wearing a tight baby pink dress, perfect makeup, hair curled. She held a wrapped gift in one hand and a phone in the other, already live streaming. "I'm here to support my sister," she said cheerfully, waving at her phone like she was at a press conference. Every eye in the room turned to me. My heart dropped. I hadn't invited her. I hadn't even told her the date. My mom had. Of course she had. Claire walked straight toward me, the camera inches from my face. "Say hi to everyone, mommy-to-be." Before I could speak, a voice sliced through the air like a cold blade. "Turn it off," my husband said, stepping in between us. Claire blinked. "Excuse me?" "You weren't invited," he said calmly. "This is not a stage. This is not content. This is real life, and you're not welcome here." She laughed awkwardly. "I'm her sister. Don't be dramatic." But my husband didn't budge. He glanced at me. "Do you want her here?" I shook my head. He looked back at Claire. "You need to go." That was the moment. That small flicker of reality hit her. For a second, her smile faltered. Her eyes scanned the room. No one stood up for her. Not my friends, not my in-laws, not even my mother, who quietly slipped her phone back into her purse. Claire's voice wavered. I just wanted to be part of it." "You were," I said softly, "until you made everything about you." She stared at me. Something shifted in her face. A flicker of realization. Or maybe just another crack in the mask. She turned off her live, placed the gift on the table, and walked out without another word. We didn't chase her. The party went on. Laughter returned. But for the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't felt in my relationship with Claire since we were kids. Closure. Not the loud, angry kind. The quiet, final kind. We all have someone in our lives who tries to steal our moments, hijack our joy, rewrite our stories with themselves as the main character. But sometimes, the best revenge isn't a takedown, it's a boundary, a door that closes, a spotlight turned off. Claire isn't the villain of my story anymore. She's just not in it. If this ending gave you peace, hit that like button and drop a comment. What's the strongest boundary you've ever had to draw with family? And don't forget to subscribe, because next week's story is even messier. A best friend's betrayal, a fake wedding invite, and a revenge plan involving a fake engagement ring and 200 guests. You're not ready.